Hey, it's me, Sunshine, doing another video, unpacking some things, kind of therapeutic for me. Hope that it is helpful to somebody out there who may be feeling the same way or similar, or just need some insight on some things. I know probably in my last video I talked about how I didn't like being misunderstood or misrepresented. I kept saying that word wrong. I kept saying misrepresented. I don't know why it was coming out like that, or what I like to say, misdiagnosed. So this video is about that. You know, people just not understanding you, or also feelings of inadequacy, because that's something that I've dealt with, as well as the trust thing. I don't know if it ties in, but I do know that being misunderstood leads to feelings of inadequacy for me. So I get up in the morning, and I was listening to my Pandora, because I'm 47 and I like the way Pandora flows for me and plays songs from all my genres at the same time. And I probably could mix that somewhere else. I know I get that mix on like YouTube music or something like that, but and I love my YouTube music. But anyway, I digress. So I was listening to I'm That Girl by Beyonce. That whole Renaissance thing, I know everybody says whatever they want to say about Beyonce, or whatever they want to say about entertainers and all that stuff, but that whole Renaissance CD kind of got me through. It was like a gospel album. It got me through a lot. It helped with my confidence, empowerment, all that great stuff. Also, there was a video that I saw a couple of days ago, TikTok video, because I stay on TikTok. I am addicted. When that little girl come in, I go, "Hey, you've been scrolling." I'd be like, "Girl, hush." And sometimes I'd be like, "Yeah, girl, you right." And I get off. But there was this video, and this lady, she had on her bathrobe, and she was like, am I full of myself? Of course. Who am I going to be full of? You? No, she was just like, it was so good. So it just kind of, those things help to give me a little power. So, feelings of inadequacy can be things like feeling like you're not enough. You hear those things and you talk with people, or you see, like, again, I'm on these videos, so you see these videos that are telling you, hey, when people are telling you or have you feeling like you're not enough, it's just because you're too much, or you have to know that you're more than enough, or you're just enough for the right person and all that stuff. It's easy to feel that, to say that, to have that thought process. But I find for myself that when there are people that I love, that I care about, it's kind of easier said than done. I often talk about how I've often felt like I'm not enough in relationships, in friendships, for my family. And as I unpack these feelings, things like being ridiculed for being smart or being in gifted classes come up. Being ridiculed for having book sense and not common sense. I know that I was under 10 years old when this happened. But I have this aunt who loves to tell this story as if it's something that talks to who I am now. But it was a story about, I was under 10, probably older than 7, but I was told to call somebody. And, we had that, I think we had just gotten, we had the rotary phones. If y'all under, 40, you probably don't know what that is. We had house phones, and we had rotary phones, and we had the dial tone, the touch touch tone button phone, not the cordless. This was a corded phone, house phone. You had to pick up the receiver and dial the number. Well, me not ever having made a phone call that I know of, or anybody even teaching me, even probably didn't even pay attention to people when they were making the phone calls. I dialed the number, then I picked up the receiver. Oh, they had a laugh about that because the little gifted girl who's been reading since she was 3 years old doesn't have what they call common sense to make a phone call. I don't think that's a common thing. That's not like common knowledge that you come out knowing as a, especially as a child under 10. They're just something I didn't know. So something like that, even now at 47, almost 40 years, whenever it happened, still has an impact on like how I move and what I do in my life. So, let me rephrase that. It doesn't still have an impact on my life now, but it's a story that's a core memory that I know led to insecurities. I hope this microphone ain't making too many noises. So with that being said, I was a hyperactive child. I was probably I am neurodivergent, and a 70s born child who grew up in the 80s and 90s. That wasn't something that, we're aware of. With me being gifted, who knew that I had a reading disability? Like, I love to read, but reading comprehension was kind of a thing for me sometimes. But I was still a gifted child. So grew up kind of stereotypical in Alabama. There were things that I didn't have access to, or things that I may have wanted to access, but with our economic situation, or seeing my mom, work like she worked, sometimes maybe complaining about bills, I was that person who did not want to bother her, didn't want to ask for certain things. So I, may have not done things that I probably wanted to or could have done. I could sing, I could draw, I could dance. There were like so many things that I could do, but there were things about myself that people just made fun of me. Even if I thought I was doing a good job, you had cousins, aunts, uncles, even my mama, who would, laugh at you. When you think you're doing a good job dancing or singing, and they laugh, it's like they wanted to knock you down a peg. It always seemed. So either I stopped doing it or I hid it. I wrote poetry, I drew, but I never showcased it. I never put it out there for anybody to see. I can still draw, but I don't ever put it out there for people to see. I would draw something and people will be like, so I had a dream about a wedding dress, and I drew the dress, and people were like, I didn't know you could draw. And I'm like, it's just a little rough sketch. I was just trying to, keep that memory of that dream. So, my thinking was I could do all these things. I was this smart. I was this cute, and I'm still being made fun of. So now as an adult, and I'm discussing these feelings of inadequacy and not feeling like I'm enough in relationships, and you have these friends who want to empower you. Like I said, you see those memes and they want to encourage you, and they say, no, it just means you're too much for that person, or you're more than enough. Rephrase that, reframe that, and I gotta pull the girls up. you're too much, or you're more than enough. And then you start, I start to look at relationships where I'm told that I'm too good to be true. I've been told that, and I'm just like, I'm me. I'm just little old me. Or I've had a guy tell me he was waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're going to hear these pages turn like I'm this guy on, because I wrote things down this time. Or most recently, I was told that I'm almost perfect, but they felt like it's an act. I may have said this in the previous video, but I don't have a representative. I say that, but then I think about it, or maybe I do, because my idea of a representative is, say, like I used to hate this when I was dating. A guy would ask me, so what are you looking for in a man? And then he would proceed to be those things, very well knowing that that's not who he was, until he got me into a certain comfort zone, and then he showed me exactly who he was. For me, I guess my representative is just small bite-sized pieces of who I am, previews of what you may or may not get, when in reality the whole thing is like a banquet feast. Like this, my personality is like those banquet feasts you see on like Game of Thrones, not the ones that kill you, but the ones that just those tables just full of food, big hogs, that's my personality. That's my love. That's my, just all of that is, one banquet table is my humor. One banquet table is my love. One banquet table is my energy and my personality. But I give you a little saucer of it at a time until I feel like you either don't want it, don't deserve it, or you can stomach the full capacity of it. I do find that I stifle myself and I hold back parts of me in the beginning until I feel like I can trust the people I'm around. This could be the first interaction. I may sit quiet and people are like, oh, you quiet. Or, I may come in and feel the atmosphere, feel the energy and feel the room and be like, oh, these people fun. Let's do this. You about to get it. You about to get me. Like, I'm even that person, like, when, you people get drunk and they become extra honest, or they become extra promiscuous. I always know, even if I black out, I always know what happens when I've been drinking. Whether I'm drunk, whether I'm throwing up, all that, I know what happened. And that may just be me. That may be another portion of the way that I navigate and I'm able to navigate through the world. I can't speak for everybody else. So I just, if I don't feel like I can be my full authentic self, I'll either like distance myself from people, or I'll associate with them, or, deal with them as needed, or there'll be somebody that I don't deal with at all. Now, as empowering as it is to switch up your thinking, I'm too much, or I'm, more than enough, it can still bring out like feelings of insecurity for me. I mean, just the fact that I'm being my authentic self, all I know how to be, the only person I know how to be. I feel, and I'm still not accepted, because I think that's the word. That, not saying that, you want to be, you want to be loved. You want your whole self to be loved, but more than that, you want to be accepted, not tolerated, just because, that person, So it still brings up things of insecurities. I mean, just the, I'm being my authentic self, and that self just happens to be dope, or maybe have a big energy in a world where people are fake friends, or people, like I said with that other example, they give you what they think you want in order to benefit from being around you, or in order to get something. They give you certain things just to get something back from you. Or you have these relationships where people are, they stifle themselves, and they cater to this person's wants and needs for years and years, and they end up regretting it. They end up just like being miserable, and then in turn making their partners miserable, because it may be easy to just say, I'm going to be who I am fully. I'm going to give them the full me. If they like it, great. If they don't like it, oh well. It's easy to say that, but what I find for me is that I can hold that thought of just letting it be what it is, as long as I'm being my authentic self. I still am that bothered lady. And I say bothered because, and I think I said this in my last video, it bothers me when I'm misunderstood, when I'm misrepresented, when I feel inadequate, when I feel like I'm not enough. And then now knowing that I may be too much, or that my real genuine self gives off I'm just acting like this so that you'll accept or like me. It bothers me, but it's like to the point where I'm not that person who is going to try to change you. Yes, I would love for you to see it how I see it. I would love for you to understand me. But just because you understand me doesn't mean that you change how you think or change what you believe. I just want to be understood, honestly. So even if you understand me and understand that, hey, this is who she is, if it still feels unreal to you, or that's probably something that you have to work with, an insecurity of yours. But when it comes to friends, and especially a significant other, I just hate being misunderstood, misrepresented, anything like that. But what I'm learning is, so I always say that, and I got this from Pastor Jackie Jones. I used to work with her. She used to always say, what people think about you is none of your business. And that's right. That's true, because that's their perception. And there are things that I've known for years, things that I can tell other people, but for me it still is a thing of, yeah, you told her that, you believe it, but it's still hard to digest sometimes. It's hard to process. Again, when you interact with somebody on an intimate level, or when I interact with somebody on an intimate level as a friend, a lover, or whatever, I care. I do care. It's odd to me that people don't. But learning that not everybody sees the world, learning and knowing that not everybody sees the world the way that I do, it's understandable. So not everybody is going to interpret me in a way that I might be comfortable with. So you have to understand, everybody's not going to interpret you in a way that you might be comfortable with. Sometimes it's their own insecurities, and you just have to know for yourself what's happening at that moment, whether they're projecting, whether, most of the time it's them projecting their insecurities, not feeling like they deserve somebody as dope as you. So you can't be this dope. So with all that being said, I have to continue being comfortable with who I am. I have to not take offense to others who are not used to my light or my humor. The petty in me wants to say they're just miserable and, because I'm dope. I'm funny and I'm cute. And I am. And sometimes that is true. They miserable and they're just, again, they're not used to genuine love and light and funny and stuff like that. So, but that pettiness is another level that I know I have to climb out from, because that's, I think, like back in my last video, I was like, okay, you're in this space of, you want this person to just hurt and feel this karma and stuff. That's a level that I have to climb from and let it be what it is. Because like I said, I'm not in the habit of changing grown people's minds, habits. And if that's how you are, that's how you are. If you learn different, you learn, if you learn different or you know better, you do better. So you move on from that. But like I said, I have to climb out from that and just understand that their feelings are real. Their feelings are real. They're just not necessarily true. That's all. You feel a certain way. They're not true for me, at least. They may be true for an experience that they had. And again, they may be just projecting that onto me. And that's okay. Those are the people that you have to learn to, give bite-sized pieces or, wean yourself away from them, distance them until they know that, okay, she dope, or until they just be like, well, deal in their own thing. That's their things. And so I'm working with me. So I learned to read the atmosphere and just give the doses of sunshine that may be called for. But I never have to learn to never stop. Is that right? I have to never ever stop being my authentic, genuine self. Being a multifaceted being who knows how to operate in all environments, it is called for to get to pull some things back from some places. There are some places that need my lightheartedness. There are some places that need my seriousness. There are some places that need that balance. I'm good with kids. So, but the stuff that I do and the way that I play with kids may not be needed when I'm, with my group of adult friends. Then again, they may need that because they may have had a bad day. They may need me to be, Steve from Blue's Clues or something like that. They may need me to make a quick joke. They may need me to do karaoke. They may need to hear how great I think they are. They may just need to sit in silence, and I like that too. So I am learning how to not feel small. Learning how to be my big, bright, sunshiny self. I think as my hair grows, the confidence grows back. I remember being like this confident body, walk into a room and exude sex and confidence. And it was just me, just the way that I walk, not thinking about it. That's just how I am. But I noticed that I started to slump a little bit, not walk with my twist anymore. So one thing that was said to me is, look at how you're walking. Yeah, look at how you're walking. Are you stomping in there like a dude? Sometimes you do that too because you don't want dudes hollering at you. But they don't be caring nowadays. But so look at how I walk. Look at how I'm sitting. Sometimes when I feel like, sometimes I perk up. Even though I know I have this man here who loves me. He thinks I'm beautiful. He says it all the time. I know there are parts of me that he probably don't always trust, but it's probably him. Him in me that he don't trust. Or there's things that because of, and he said this to me, because of life and because of past relationships, it sometimes may seem like either it's a thing of him not deserving it, or him just not believing that I'm this sweet to him, or that I care this much about him, and I'm just doing stuff, I don't know what he thinks. Sometimes he thinks I'm perfect, but he thinks I'm just acting. But it's me, not perfect, but almost perfect. Anyway, I just said all that I'm learning to kill those inadequacies. I know that I'll draw the right people. Sometimes I draw people who do see how great I am, who see how dope I am, and they want to siphon that, them energy vampires. Then I draw those people who see how dope I am, how great I am, and they're like, she's dope. I want to pour my dopeness into her. I want to be her friend. I want to show her my brand of dopeness, and we do a collaboration of dope energy, that type of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna have those days where I'm not gonna feel as dope and bright and beautiful as I am, but the days where my confidence is kicking the ass and taking names are gonna be far greater and more than those days. So I hope that me sharing this helps somebody. Okay, my phone is about to die. I hope that me sharing this helps someone. I hope that you learn more about me. You want to be my friend? Contact me. You need somebody to talk to. You need somebody to listen. But I've learned that most of the time, my advice, it don't come from me. It comes from it. That's why I believe in a higher power. It comes from Holy Spirit. It comes from Spirit, universe, whatever you want to call it. It comes from that. And most times, when I'm speaking to someone, he's also speaking. It's also speaking to me too. So, call me. Reach out to me. Inbox me. DM me. Leave a comment. And just, reach out. I don't mind talking. I don't mind listening, most of all. But yeah, that's all I got for today. I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye.